If you've been experiencing dissatisfaction and unfulfillment in your health, in your love and relationships, your career, your time and money freedom, in one or any of those listed, I invite you today to learn how you can break free. Break free from the confines of what everyone else expects you to do and start listening to your most important guide. And your most important guide you can find within you. Hi, I'm Jessica Ozrek. I'm a double certified coach. And before I started coaching, I have invested over 20 years in personal development, healing, and mindset reprogramming to create a life that I absolutely love. And I want to share all that I have learned through my investments of time, money, and energy to you so that you can learn how to do the same. So I'm going to use two examples from my much earlier part of my life to give you an example of how, through observation, I became aware of my thoughts and the stories that were running in my mind that were no longer serving me, and how I used various systems to reprogram my mind, which unlocked a whole new level of experience in my life and created deeper fulfillment, greater satisfaction, and also ease and peace of mind. So if you are looking for any of these, I encourage you to continue listening, but also hit subscribe and the like button. And you're welcome to put any comments down below so that I know what kind of content you would like me to continue to create. So as I mentioned, I became a certified coach, and I became a certified coach because listening to my dreams, those that were put in my heart, have been a lifelong guide for me. So I grew up in a very traditional home with a loving mother and father, and my father was the breadwinner. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, and as she gained more independence, she took on more and more financial liberty through jobs, and she actually also babysat during times that I was at home, and my three younger sisters were also at home needing her care. And the reason that she chose to take on different jobs was because she demonstrated to me and my sisters the importance of having financial freedom. And although my father provided for us, there were certain things that she felt were important to her, and having that side income, that she was able to have the independence and freedom to decide how to spend it, demonstrated how important it is to bring in your own financial flow. And so from a young age, I wanted to have my own freedom too. At 10 years old, I took on a paper route. And even though it was not exactly what I thought I'd signed up for, it did give me some wonderful skills of perseverance and humility that I was able to take with me for the rest of my life. So we're always gaining skills, and we're always experiencing lessons. Another important thing to recognize is that we are also always being asked to grow. So another thing that I noticed from my earlier years is that I had a very strong connection to my intuition. And I decided to go for my dreams one step at a time. And each time I was at a crossroad, I would listen internally to what was most meaningful and expansive to me. Now, in addition to this beautiful intuition, purpose-driven journey that I've experienced throughout my life, like everybody, I have also experienced challenges. And so that is what I want to talk to you today, because a lot of the times our challenges are what create the biggest opportunities for growth. And one of the challenges that I experienced was around my preteen years. I had always been a very skinny child, and to the point that people would sometimes make fun of me. And as hurtful as I found this, I liked myself. But what happens when little girls start changing into women? Many of the times, even if they're skinny, they gain weight because that's a very healthy part of evolving into a woman. And during this time, as my body is changing, I'm receiving messages from various forms that I should lose weight. And I took this very personally, and I decided that I should maintain a girlish figure regardless of the actions and consequences. And so I unfortunately developed anorexia and then bulimia. And I want to share this with you because this is a very common experience for women, but also for men. And it's this pressure to achieve an image that is not easily attainable and not even meant for us. We are all given unique bodies so that we can have our own individual experience in life and learn to love ourselves regardless of our shape, our size. And of course, we want to be the healthiest form. But what does that really mean? That is an individual choice. This experience of having an eating disorder persisted for several years before I was able to receive some support in the form of counseling. And that was a few months of counseling. But what it did was plant some seeds that the way I perceived my body and its relationship with food was distorted. And that seed grew. And so eventually I came to the conclusion that the struggle I had been experiencing was not a physical struggle, it was a mental struggle. And so I created a system for myself to help me to look at how I was consuming food in a healthy way, in a flexible way that was able to support my lifestyle in my early 20s. And by leaning on the system, I was able to move out of this mental distortion of how I perceived my mind and how I perceived my body and my food consumption. And why I share this with you is that this was my first experience in seeing positive results by changing the story, by changing my mindset. And it built a wonderful foundation for me to continue to up-level and shift through struggles that I then experienced later on in life. And if you're experiencing challenges with your health, regardless of what it is that you would like support with, so my programs are designed to help you to get clear on the experience in health that you would like to have, and then a system to move you from where you are to where you would love to be. Because it's important to have a structure of support so that you can move out of your old beliefs that are limiting you, that are keeping you stuck, and move into a greater version of yourself, a more evolved version of yourself, which comes through awareness. And that's awareness of your thoughts, awareness of your stories, and awareness of your limiting patterns that no longer serve you. Because life is always seeking to express itself through us. And so as we are breathing and we're living, life is always looking to expand. And that's why we have struggles. It's an area for us to learn and grow and evolve. And if we can look at our struggles in that way, then that gives us the chance to see that struggles as an opportunity to expand and grow and succeed rather than be in a place of struggle and defeat and frustration. So the second story I would like to share with you is one in love and relationships. So throughout my younger years, I had somehow experienced a fear of being in a committed relationship. And this didn't really impact me negatively in high school or college because I was having fun with my friends and I was paying attention to my studies and really investing in my future career, which was always very important to me. But as I started to near my mid-20s, I desired to have a loving and committed relationship. And I realized that I was attracting men who were afraid of commitment. And I was doing that because I was afraid of commitment. And so I eventually hit rock bottom within this relationship dating experience, realizing that I was attracting the wrong type of men. And this opened up an opportunity for me to heal from past experiences that led to this fear. It also allowed me to gain new insight into the permission of giving myself the freedom to be who I want to be in a romantic relationship. And as soon as I committed to this structure of support that was available to me, within 2 weeks, I met my now husband. First, we became friends, then we started dating, and eventually we became engaged. And we have now been married for 17 years, together for over 22, and we have 3 beautiful children. We also are building a life that we would love together. And so going from that extreme to having a relationship that has lasted and grown for many, many years, I attribute that to the structure of support and the mindset that I established because of that struggle that I had experienced. And I was willing to do what it took to develop a healthier relationship with myself and a romantic relationship. And so I share these 2 examples because whatever you are experiencing, whatever you are struggling with right now, remember that this is an opportunity for you to grow. And it first starts with awareness. And I can help you acquire tools so that you can gain awareness around what is most important to you. And remember, awareness is the first step. As soon as you are aware of what is no longer serving you, that gives you the chance to make different decisions. Because you deserve to live a life that you absolutely love. I invite you to click the link below to visit my website, authera.com, and to schedule a complimentary call with me today. And if you enjoyed this conversation, I invite you to subscribe, like, and comment below. I'd love to hear what other topics you'd like me to talk about. And in the meantime, I invite you to watch this video. And remember, when it comes to living a life that you love, you can do it. I believe in you.